My unemployed husband and his mother demanded I buy her a $2,000 bag with our mortgage money. You're being difficult, but when I left the store, they weren't ready for what came next, $2,000. The price tag dangles from the cream-colored leather handbag like a noose around my neck. My mother-in-law Margaret stands beside me, her manicured fingers stroking the designer logo as if it were a beloved pet. I'm Sawyer, and this moment in the boutique marks the beginning of my personal hell. Ryan promised I could have it for my birthday, Margaret says, her voice dripping with the sweetness that makes my teeth ache. He told me you'd take care of it today, dear. Of course he did. My unemployed husband who lost his consulting job 3 weeks ago is still making grand promises to mommy dearest. The same husband who just this morning reminded me we needed to dip into our savings for the mortgage payment. Did he mention we're behind on our property taxes? The words slip out before I can stop them. Margaret's face tightens, that familiar flash of disapproval crossing her features. Money troubles are so common, she says, waving her hand dismissively. Ryan assured me you're doing quite well with the bookshop. I grip my own worn leather purse tighter. The bookshop barely breaks even most months. You know this, Margaret. You live with us. Temporarily, she corrects, as if her 6-month stay hasn't already stretched to 14 months. And I've been nothing but helpful watching the house while you work those long hours. The saleswoman hovers nearby, perfectly coiffed and probably sensing the tension. I catch my reflection in one of the store's many mirrors, exhaustion etched around my eyes, my brown hair hastily pulled back. I look exactly like what I am, a small business owner drowning in other people's expectations. My phone buzzes. Ryan's text reads, "Did Mom get her bag? She's been talking about it for weeks." I type back, "We can't afford this." His response is immediate. "Please, Sawyer, I promised her. I'll figure something out." Figure something out? Like he figured out the cruise he bought her last Christmas? The one still sitting on our credit card? Margaret, I start, trying to keep my voice steady. I think we should discuss this with Ryan first. She clutches the bag closer. But he's already promised. You wouldn't want to make him break his word to his own mother, would you? Especially after everything I've done for you both? The manipulation is so obvious it would be laughable if it wasn't so effective. Ryan will cave. He always does. And somehow I'm the one who ends up paying the price. I'm sorry, I tell the saleswoman. We won't be taking it today. Margaret's face crumples like expensive tissue paper. I'll just call Ryan myself. She steps away, phone already in hand, and I hear her voice shift to that trembling tone she uses to get her way. Ryan, sweetheart, your wife is being difficult. My phone lights up again, Ryan. Just buy it. I'll make it up to you. The fury rises in my chest, hot and familiar. This is the moment. Standing in this overpriced boutique watching my mother-in-law orchestrate yet another financial disaster when something inside me finally snaps. I walk out of the store, Margaret's protests fading behind me. By the time I reach my car, I've received 6 messages from Ryan, each more desperate than the last. The last one reads, "Please go back. You know how she gets." Yes, I do know how she gets. I know exactly how they both get, and for the first time I realize I'm done playing this game. The handbag isn't just a handbag. It's every boundary crossed, every manipulation accepted, every financial burden I've shouldered while they play their twisted mother-son routine. I start the car, my hand steady on the wheel. They want to talk about prices? Fine. It's time they learn that everything, especially karma, comes with a price tag, and I'm about to make sure they pay in full. The sound of Margaret's designer heels clicking against our hardwood floors has become my personal metronome of misery. 3 hours since the boutique incident, and she's been pacing, making phone calls, and letting out theatrical sides that could rival a Victorian drama. I'm chopping vegetables for dinner with more force than necessary when Ryan finally comes home. The front door closes softly, too softly. He's trying to avoid confrontation, which means Margaret has already worked her magic. "Sawyer?" His voice carries that placating tone I've grown to hate. "Can we talk?" The knife comes down hard on a carrot. "About how you promised your mother a $2,000 handbag with money we don't have?" He steps into the kitchen, loosening his tie, the one he still wears to job interviews that go nowhere. I know the timing isn't great, but the timing? The laugh that escapes me sounds foreign. "Ryan, we're eating ramen noodles 3 nights a week while your mother orders takeout from that overpriced bistro downtown. She's going through a difficult adjustment period. 14 months is not an adjustment period. It's a lifestyle." Margaret's footsteps pause outside the kitchen. I know she's listening. She always is. "I had 3 interviews today," Ryan says, changing tactics. 2 of them look promising. "Once I'm working again, we'll what? Keep enabling her? Keep drowning in debt while she lives like a queen in our guest room? That's enough." Margaret glides into the kitchen, perfectly timed as always. "I won't stand here and listen to you disparage my son when he's trying his best." I set down the knife. "Your best? Is that what you call making promises with my money?" "Our money," Ryan corrects. "No." I turn to face them both. "My money, my bookshop, my house that I bought before we were married, the house you both seem to forget I own." Margaret's face does that thing where she looks both wounded and superior. "After everything I've sacrificed? The word tastes bitter. Like the sacrifice of using my credit card to buy yourself a spa day last week?" Ryan's head snaps up. "What? Oh, didn't Mommy Dearest tell you? She borrowed my card for emergencies. Apparently, a hot stone massage qualifies." Margaret's composure cracks slightly. "I was going to pay you back. With what money?" I pull out my phone, pulling up the banking app. "Should we go through the list? The restaurants, the shopping, that's private." Margaret steps forward, reaching for my phone. "Private? Like the $300 you spent at that boutique last month?" Or the wine club membership you signed up for using my card? Ryan's face has gone pale. Mom, she doesn't understand, Margaret says quickly, touching his arm. I've been so lonely since your father passed. Shopping helps me cope. Don't. I hold up my hand. Don't you dare use his death as an excuse for this. The silence that follows is deafening. Ryan looks lost, caught between his mother's manipulation and the truth he can't ignore. Margaret's mask slips further, showing the desperation beneath. I'm making changes, I announce, my voice steady. Starting tomorrow, my credit cards are off limits. No more shopping, no more restaurants, no more. You can't do that to me. Margaret's cry is sharp. Ryan, tell her she can't. I can and I will. I turn back to my vegetables. And if you don't like it, there's a lovely extended stay hotel downtown. Ryan. Margaret's voice rises an octave. Are you going to let her treat your mother this way? I wait, knife poised over another carrot for my husband's response. In the silence, I can hear the years of manipulation, the weight of expectations, the cost of keeping peace. Maybe, Ryan says slowly, we should look at the credit card statements. Margaret's gasp is genuine this time. You're taking her side? I'm not taking sides, Mom. I just think. You never think, she snaps. That's your problem. You let her control everything while the knife comes down one final time. Dinner's ready, I announce, cutting through their argument. Though I doubt it's up to your standards, Margaret. Maybe you should order in on your own card this time. I leave them standing in the kitchen, their reflections distorted in the window above the sink. As I climb the stairs to our bedroom, I hear Margaret's muffled sobs and Ryan's attempts to comfort her. Let them comfort each other, I think. I have accounts to check and plans to make because this isn't just about money anymore. It's about power, and I'm done giving mine away. The bank statement trembles in my hands as I sit in my bookshop's back office. Numbers don't lie, but people do, and Margaret's lies are spelled out in transaction after transaction. A digital trail of deceit that makes my stomach turn. My brother Caleb leans against my desk, his attorney's eyes scanning the document. $10,000 in 3 months. That's just what I found so far. I pull up another statement on my computer. Look at these charges. Designer boutiques, jewelry stores, wine clubs, all while Ryan's been unemployed. And these are all from your accounts? My business account. The words taste like acid, the one I gave her emergency access to when she first moved in. For groceries, she said, for household expenses. Caleb whistles low. This could be considered financial fraud, Sawyer. A customer's bell chimes from the front of the store. Through the office window, I watch Emma, my best friend, handle the sale. She's been covering more shifts lately, sensing something's wrong. I trusted her, I say, more to myself than Caleb. I actually believed she was trying to help us through Ryan's unemployment. Speaking of Ryan, Caleb shifts uncomfortably. Does he know? He's too busy defending her to see what's right in front of him. I pull up another document, but this is what really interests me. Look at these transfers. Caleb leans in, frowning. To an account in the Cayman Islands? 3 separate transfers, $5,000 each. My voice stays steady, though my hands shake. I found emails on the shared computer. She's been moving money offshore for months. The shop bell rings again. This time Margaret herself walks in wearing a new silk scarf. I definitely didn't buy her. She spots me through the window and waves, all innocence and charm. I need to confront her, I say. Caleb grabs my arm. Wait, you need to be smart about this. Get your evidence in order. Protect your assets. She's stealing from me, Caleb, right now, today. I pull away from him. I'm done waiting. I stride out of the office, past Emma's worried glance, straight to where Margaret browses the new releases. We need to talk, I say. She looks up, that practiced confusion on her face. About what, dear? About the $10,000 you've stolen from my business account. The book in her hands drops. Behind me, Emma quietly ushers the last customer out, flipping the store's sign to closed. I don't know what you're talking about, Margaret says, but her voice wavers. I pull out my phone, start reading. $3,000 at Nordstrom, $2,000 at that jewelry boutique downtown, $5,000 transferred to account number. Stop. Her mask cracks. You don't understand. I understand perfectly. You're a thief. I needed it. The words burst from her like she's been holding them back. After Gerald died, the insurance wouldn't pay. There were debts, so you decided to create more with my money? I was going to pay it back. She reaches for my arm, but I step away. Once Ryan gets a new job, Ryan can barely pay our mortgage. The laugh that escapes me is harsh, but you knew that when you bought those one-stone class tickets to Miami last week, didn't you? Her face changes, calculation replacing desperation. If you tell Ryan about this, it'll destroy him. Is that what you want? To hurt your husband? Don't you dare try to manipulate this. I step closer, lowering my voice. You have 24 hours to tell Ryan everything, or I will. And trust me, my version will come with bank statements and police reports. You wouldn't dare. Try me. I meet her eyes, seeing real fear there for the first time. 24 hours, Margaret, and then we'll see who destroys whom. She backs away, grabbing her designer purse probably bought with my money, and hurries out of the store. Through the window I watch her pull out her phone, presumably to call Ryan. That was intense, Emma says behind me. I turn to find her and Caleb watching me with matching concerned expressions. It's about to get worse, I say, picking up Margaret's dropped book, a self-help guide about overcoming addiction. Much worse, because I know Margaret won't tell Ryan the truth. She'll spin a story, play the victim, try to turn him against me, but this time I'm ready. This time I have proof. And sometimes revenge is as simple as telling the truth. The manila envelope sits on my kitchen table like a loaded gun. Inside are printouts of every transaction, every transfer, every lie Margaret has woven into our lives. 23 hours have passed since my ultimatum, and the house remains silent, heavy with unspoken accusations. Emma sits across from me, her coffee untouched. Have you heard from Ryan? Radio silence. I trace the envelope's edge. He didn't come home last night. And Margaret? Locked in her room since yesterday. I heard her on the phone all night speaking in whispers. A notification pings on my laptop. Another transfer alert. I open the banking app and my hand starts shaking. She's doing it again, I say, turning the screen toward Emma. Right now another $5,000 to the same offshore account. Emma leans forward, designer's eyes scanning the details. She's getting desperate. She's getting bold. I pull up another window. Look at this email I found. There are more accounts, Emma. In Switzerland, in the Bahamas. This goes way beyond shopping addiction. You need to call Caleb. I already did. I closed the laptop. He's drawing up papers to freeze all my accounts, but the banks won't open for another hour. Footsteps creak overhead. Margaret finally emerging. The stairs groan under her descent, each step measured and deliberate. When she appears in the doorway, she's perfectly put together, as always. Only the slight tremor in her hands betrays her anxiety. Good morning, dear, she says, voice honey sweet. And Emma, what a lovely surprise. Save it, I say. Where's Ryan? Oh, he needed some time to think. She moves to the coffee maker, her designer robe swishing. He was quite upset about your accusations. Facts. I correct her. Bank statements don't lie. She turns coffee cup poised. No, but people do. Have you told Ryan about your little side project with Emma yet? The one you've been working on during business hours? My blood runs cold. Emma shifts in her chair. That's different, is it? Margaret's smile is razor sharp. Using company time and resources for personal gain. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? We're designing book covers, Emma interjects. It's related to the business. Without declaring the income, Margaret sips her coffee. My, what would the IRS say? The threat hangs in the air. I stand slowly, understanding dawning. You've been planning this, I say. All along you've been gathering ammunition. Insurance, dear. We all need it. She sets down her cup. Now, about those bank statements. No. The word comes out stronger than I expect. You don't get to blackmail me with my own business. Then we understand each other. She moves toward the door. I'll tell Ryan you send your love. After she leaves, Emma reaches across the table. Sawyer, get me my phone. My voice sounds distant to my own ears. I'm calling Caleb again and the police. The police? But she just threatened. Exactly. I pull out a USB drive from my pocket and I recorded every word. Emma's eyes widen. You knew she'd try something like this? I knew she'd get cocky. I plugged the drive into my laptop, but she made a mistake. She admitted to knowing about the offshore accounts on tape. What about your side business? It's legitimate, declared, filed. I meet Emma's gaze. I've been planning too. My phone buzzes, Ryan's name flashing on the screen. For the first time in hours, I smile. Let the games begin, I murmur, reaching for the phone. Because Margaret isn't the only one who knows how to play the long game. She taught me well, too well. And now it's time to show her exactly what revenge looks like when you push someone too far. I answer the call, voice steady. Ryan, we need to talk about your mother's offshore accounts. The sharp intake of breath on the other end tells me everything I need to know. Margaret may have taught me about manipulation, but she never learned the most important lesson. Sometimes the truth is the deadliest weapon of all, and I'm done playing defense. The divorce papers feel heavier than they should, tucked inside my laptop bag as I enter our favorite coffee shop. Ryan sits at our usual corner table, his shoulders tight with tension. He hasn't noticed me yet, too busy staring into his untouched coffee like it holds answers. 3 days since I revealed Margaret's offshore accounts. 3 days of silence, punctuated only by hushed phone calls and slammed doors. You came, he says as I slide into the seat across from him. His voice sounds hollow, aged. Did you think I wouldn't? Honestly, I don't know what to think anymore. He pushes a folder across the table. I found these in Mom's room. Inside are bank statements, but not mine. These show transfers from accounts I've never seen, dating back years before Gerald's death, before our marriage, before everything. Your father's signature, I note, pointing to a document, but these dates he was dead by then. Ryan's hands shake as he reaches for his coffee. She forged them, used his identity to open accounts, take out loans. Ryan, there's more. He pulls out his phone, slides it toward me. On the screen is an email chain between Margaret and someone named James Sullivan. The subject line reads, "Re Gerald's life insurance policy." My stomach drops as I read. She falsified his death certificate, changed the date, made it look like he died 6 months later than he did. Ryan's laugh is bitter. Also, she could keep collecting his pension, his social security, using my dead father like some kind of ATM. The coffee shop bustles around us, oblivious to our world crumbling. A barista calls out orders. Someone laughs too loudly. I confronted her, Ryan continues. She said she did it for me to maintain our lifestyle, to make sure I had opportunities. And you believe her? I don't know what to believe anymore. He meets my eyes for the first time, but I know you were right about everything. The divorce papers in my bag seem to pulse, demanding attention, but something stops me from pulling them out. There's something else, Ryan says, his voice dropping. The police came to the house this morning. Apparently some of that money wasn't just from Dad's accounts. My phone buzzes. Caleb calling. I silence it. What do you mean? Remember that charity foundation Mom started after Dad died? The one for underprivileged students? Ryan's voice cracks. It was a front. She was laundering money through it, using my father's reputation too. He breaks off as my phone buzzes again. This time it's Emma. You should get that, he says. I answer. Emma's voice comes through breathless. Sawyer, turn on the news now. Ryan's already pulling up a news site on his phone. The headline makes my blood freeze. Local charity foundation under investigation for fraud. Former teacher and widow implicated in $1 million scheme. She's gone, Ryan says quietly. Left a note saying she's sorry, that she never meant for it to go this far. The divorce papers suddenly feel meaningless. This isn't about revenge anymore. This is about survival. The police. I start, but Ryan cuts me off. They'll want to talk to us both about the accounts, the transfers, everything. He reaches across the table, takes my hand. I know you have divorce papers in your bag. I don't blame you, but right now I need your help, please. The word hangs between us, heavy with implications. My carefully planned revenge is dissolving, replaced by something more complicated, more dangerous. My phone buzzes again. Caleb, probably with legal advice we desperately need. The news ticker on Ryan's phone keeps scrolling. Multiple victims, pension fraud, charitable donations, misappropriated. What do you want to do? Ryan asks. I look at him, really look at him. The man I married, broken by his mother's betrayal, asking for help instead of enabling her for the first time in his life. The divorce papers can wait. Right now we need to decide. Do we run from Margaret's mess or stay and face the storm? I reach for my phone, meeting Ryan's gaze. First, we call my brother. Then we find your mother, because if we don't, she'll drag us both down with her. And somehow I know this is just the beginning. The text message comes at midnight. I know where she is. Ryan's words glow on my phone screen as I stand in our emptied bedroom surrounded by packed boxes and echoing silence. Caleb warned me not to get involved. Let the police handle it, he said. But the police are already questioning my involvement in Margaret's charity foundation. 3 days of interrogations have left me raw, exposed. I text back, where? The lake house, Dad's old place. Of course, the property Margaret claimed she'd sold years ago. Another lie in her web of deception. I'm going there, Ryan writes. Now, wait for me. The drive takes 40 minutes. Ryan's car is already in the gravel driveway when I arrive, but something feels wrong. The front door stands open, spilling yellow light into the darkness. Inside, the air smells stale, like unopened rooms and secrets. Ryan. In here. His voice carries from the study, tight with emotion. I find him standing over Margaret, who sits in Gerald's old leather chair like a queen on her throne. She's wearing the cream-colored designer dress she bought with my stolen money, perfectly pressed despite everything. Hello, dear, she says, as if this is just another family dinner. I wondered when you'd both arrive. It's over, Mom. Ryan's voice cracks. The police are coming. I called them before Sawyer got here. Margaret's smile doesn't waver. Did you really think I didn't have a plan? She reaches into her desk drawer and my heart stops, but instead of a weapon she pulls out a thick manila envelope. Insurance, she says, sliding it across the desk. Against both of you. Ryan grabs the envelope, opens it. His face goes pale. What is it, I ask. Transfer records, Margaret answers for him, showing how you both helped me move money through the foundation. Your signatures, your accounts, your complicity. These are forged, I say, but my voice sounds weak even to me. Are they? She stands, smoothing her dress. Ryan, darling, whose idea was it to use the bookshop as a front for cash deposits? And Sawyer, those offshore accounts you discovered? They're in your name too, thanks to some careful paperwork. The room spins. I grab the desk for support. You planned this, Ryan whispers. All of it. I protected us, Margaret corrects him, like I always have since before your father died. A siren wails in the distance, growing closer. The police are coming, I say. These forgeries won't hold up, won't they? Margaret's smile turns sharp. Your brother Caleb helped set up the foundation's legal structure. Emma designed all our materials. Everyone's implicated, dear. Everyone's dirty. The sirens are closer now. Red and blue lights flash through the windows. You have a choice, Margaret continues. Stay and try to explain everything to the police, or she holds up a set of keys. My car's out back, packed with enough cash to start over. Enough for all of us. You're insane, I breathe. I'm practical. She turns to Ryan. Choose, darling. Your wife's righteous revenge or your mother's protection, but choose quickly. The front door crashes open. Voices call out, police, anyone inside? Ryan looks at me, then at his mother. In his eyes I see the same lost little boy who always needed her approval. Ryan, I plead, don't. But he's already moving toward Margaret, taking the keys from her hand. I'm sorry, he whispers to me. Footsteps thunder through the house. Margaret's smile widens as she takes Ryan's arm. Last chance, dear, she says to me. Family stands together. The study door bursts open. Officers flood in. Weapons drawn. Hands where we can see them. I raise my hand slowly, watching as Ryan and Margaret do the same, but Margaret's still smiling, and I finally understand why. Because in trying to expose her lies, I've become tangled in them. In seeking revenge, I've given her the perfect weapon against me, and now standing in Gerald's study with police surrounding us, I realize the terrible truth. Sometimes the price of revenge isn't just karma. Sometimes it's everything you have left. The interrogation room's fluorescent lights cast harsh shadows across Margaret's face as she sits across from me. Her designer dress replaced by prison orange. 3 days since our arrest, and she still manages to look composed, unbreakable. Sign the confession, I say, sliding the papers across the metal table. Admit what you did to Gerald's accounts. She glances at the documents, then back at me. And why would I do that? Because I found Gerald's real files. The USB drive sits between us like a loaded gun. The ones you thought you destroyed. For the first time, her mask slips just slightly. Ryan's outside, I continue. He knows everything about Gerald's life insurance, the forged death certificate, the you turned my son against me. Her voice carries a dangerous edge. No, your lies did that. The door opens. Caleb enters, followed by 2 detectives. My brother's face is grim as he sets down his briefcase. The forensic accountants finished their review, he announces. They found something interesting in Gerald's old home office. Margaret's fingers twitch. That office was cleared out years ago. Behind the drywall, Caleb continues. A safe with very detailed records. Gerald's dead, Margaret snaps. Whatever you found is dated after his death. I lean forward. In your handwriting. She laughs, but it sounds hollow. You can't prove. Actually, one detective interrupts. We can. Your husband suspected you, Margaret. He kept records, secret recordings, right up until the day he really died. The color drains from her face. He knew, I say softly, about the money, the fraud, all of it. And he left evidence everywhere. Insurance against you. You're lying. But her voice wavers. Sign the confession, I repeat. Take responsibility, or Ryan sees everything, including the truth about his father's death. Her eyes narrow. You wouldn't. Try me. The door opens again. Ryan stands there, looking older than I've ever seen him. Mom, he says quietly. Please. Margaret's composure cracks completely. I did it for you. Everything I did was for yourself. Ryan steps into the room. Dad knew. He tried to stop you, didn't he? That's why your father was weak. She slams her hands on the table. He would have ruined everything. Our status. Our life. Did you kill him? The question hangs in the air like smoke. Margaret's face goes completely white. Ryan, darling, I answer the question. His voice breaks. When you forged his death certificate, was he already dead, or did he was going to expose everything? The words burst from her like poison. He would have destroyed us. I had to protect us. I had to. Ryan turns away, shoulders shaking. The detective steps forward with handcuffs. Margaret Thompson. You're under arrest for the murder of Gerald Thompson. I stand, my legs unsteady. This was supposed to be about revenge, about justice for her financial crimes. Not this. Never this. Sawyer. Margaret's voice stops me at the door. You think you've won? You think this makes you better than me? I turn back. No. It makes me different from you. That's enough. Outside the interrogation room, Ryan leans against the wall, tears streaming down his face. When he looks at me, I see something I have never seen before. Freedom. The divorce papers, he says. Do you still have them? I nod. Good. He straightens up because I need to start over without her shadow, without her lies. Ryan, thank you, he cuts me off, for showing me the truth even when I didn't want to see it. The detective emerges, leading Margaret away. She holds her head high, but her eyes tell a different story. The story of a woman who destroyed everything she claimed to protect. As they pass, she whispers, Karma's a patient enemy, dear. I watch them disappear down the corridor, Ryan's words echoing in my mind. Starting over. Maybe that's what this was always about. Not revenge, but resurrection. The chance to build something new from the ashes of necessary destruction. I pull out my phone, text Emma, it's done. Because sometimes the greatest revenge isn't in destroying someone else's life. It's in reclaiming your own. The cream-colored handbag sits on my desk at the bookshop. Price tag still attached. Margaret's final purchase request, the one that started everything. Emma watches as I lift it, feeling its weight one last time. What are you going to do with it, she asks. Through the shop window, autumn leaves scatter across the sidewalk. The store's been closed for inventory, but really I needed space to sort through more than just books. Return it, I say, placing it in a shopping bag. Some things aren't worth keeping. My phone buzzes, a text from Ryan. Sign the papers. They're with Caleb. Simple words marking the end of a complicated story. I don't reply. The website launches tomorrow, Emma says, changing the subject. She pulls up our new digital storefront on her laptop. Online rare book sales. Who knew your obsession with first editions would turn into this? I manage a smile. Better than offshore accounts? The bell above the door chimes. Caleb enters holding a manila envelope and a newspaper. Thought you might want to see this, he says, handing me the paper. The headline reads, Local teacher pleads guilty in fraud case. Below it, a smaller headline. Murder investigation ongoing. She took the deal? Emma asks. 20 years. Caleb sets the envelope on my desk. The divorce papers are inside, and something else from Gerald's safe. I open the envelope, pull out an old leather journal. Inside, Gerald's handwriting fills the pages with dates, amounts, observations. But on the last page, there's a letter addressed to Ryan. Have you read it? I ask Caleb. He shakes his head. That's not my place. I text Ryan. Found something of your father's. Your choice if you want to see it. His response comes quickly. Bring it to the lake house tomorrow? You don't have to go, Emma says. Yes, I do. I tuck the journal away. Some stories need proper endings. Caleb picks up the shopping bag with the handbag. I'll return this for you. No, I take it back. I need to do it myself. After they leave, I walk through my shop, running fingers along book spines. Each volume tells a story of survival, of change, of consequences. Like the rare first editions I've collected, some things become more valuable after weathering time and trauma. My phone buzzes again. A message from an unknown number. Margaret, karma works both ways, dear. Remember that. I delete the message without responding. She's right, in her way. Karma does work both ways, but so does healing. The shop bell chimes again. A teenage girl enters looking lost. Can I help you? I need a book, she says hesitantly. Something about starting over. I study her face, young but with old eyes, like Ryan's when he finally saw the truth about his mother. I think I have just the thing. I lead her to a shelf, pull down a volume, not a first edition, but something better. A story about redemption, about building something new from broken pieces. How much? She asks. Take it, I say. Sometimes we all need a new story. After she leaves, I pick up my phone, type one last message to Ryan. I'll bring the journal tomorrow. Not for closure, for understanding. His reply comes as I'm locking up. Thank you for everything. I place the handbag in my car's trunk next to a box of Gerald's journals. Tomorrow, I'll return one and deliver the other. Two endings. Neither quite what I expected when this all began, because revenge isn't always about destruction. Sometimes it's about reconstruction, about taking broken truths and building something honest from the pieces. I start my car watching the bookshop's lights dim in my rearview mirror. Margaret's words echo in my mind. Karma works both ways. Yes, it does, but so does freedom. And sometimes the best revenge isn't in getting even. It's in getting free. I pull away from the curb, leaving the shadows behind. Ahead, the street stretches out empty and full of possibility, like a blank page waiting for a new story to begin. Not a story of revenge anymore, just mine.